A-pole. The A-pole has a large bearing unit. Great care should be taken of this unit and it should be protected from being dropped or banged. It is important at this stage to understand the A-pole operation, as that will help when assembling and dismantling the pole. The A-pole bearing unit has two sections, an upper angled section with 3 hex screws and a lower flat section which has the bearing and locking screws. The angled upper section supports the pole tube and holds it in place with the 3 screws. If these screws are undone, the pole tube can be removed from the bearing housing. These screws can also be used to adjust the pole position in the stage assembly. The position of the bearing unit is fixed during production, so these 3 screws do not need to be touched. The lower flat section is the part that is inserted into the stage centre and which supports the pole. This unit has 2 hex screws, a small inverted cutout on the bottom edge, and an indent hole opposite the locking slot. The 2 hex screws in this lower main bearing unit operate the static and spinning functions of the stage. When these screws are tight, screwed in, the stage pole is locked. When they are loose, the pole can spin. These 2 locking screws must be screwed in so the pole is in static mode to insert the pole and remove it. This will be the fundamental reason why the pole cannot be removed from the main stage frame. When the screws are undone, they will catch inside the main frame centre unit, and so when you try to remove the pole and bearing unit, it will stay in place. Always put the pole into static mode, hex screws screwed in tight when removing the pole unit. Whilst the pole is out of the stage frame, try the operation of the spinning and static mechanism so you can familiarise yourself with how it works. This will help later if you have problems removing the pole. Loosen the 2 hex screws and spin the bearing unit. Now tighten the screws and you will see the bearing unit will not spin. Now it is time to insert the pole unit. You will see at the outside bottom edge of the main frame bearing holder that there is a pin that protrudes inwards. This pin is where the locking cutout locates. Carefully insert the A-pole bearing unit into the main frame holder so the locking cutout slides over the pin. The pole bearing unit will slide down and fit flush with the holder when it is correctly located. While inserting the pole, you will need to keep it upright as the bottom of the pole needs to be inserted into the lower bearing. It may be necessary to move the pole gently from side to side until the bottom of the pole locates into the lower bearing. Once you are satisfied that the pole unit is in place, you can now tighten the locating screw on the side of the stage frame centre unit holder. Tighten this firmly, but do not over-tighten.